So, Mark Taylor, like Catherine said, I'm the Regional Manager for Naylor here in Christchurch for Health and Safety. What I'm going to do is just a bit of simplistic view on fatigue for what we do. So we've got the guidance doc that a group of us have put together. I'll just do a quick overview of what we do for fatigue management with a Naylor Love. So we've got the black and the white and the grey. So black and white, we've got a fatigue management policy. So in that's Naylor Love's business model. So we have, actually it's written in here, should include information about maximum shift length, average weekly hours, work-related travel, procedures, reporting risks. So these fact sheets, guys, take those, use those, they're actually really good. Our policy, quite basic, quite simple, but still just ticks all the boxes in there. So as a minimum standard, use these fact sheets, they're quite useful. So from that, we've specified maximum number of hours any one employee should be doing in a week. That's nationally. Regionally, our regional manager has specified a slightly lower level of hours. So if anyone goes over that, he wants to know why. So there is actually a control system. If anyone goes over those hours, it gets flagged up in payroll, and then we start investigating that. But the jobs are actually planned to be so many working hours during a week, so that we're actually planning beforehand not to exceed those hours. Going on to the grey side of it, you've got the home life factors, family, children, what's happening at home. That's the hard part to quantify. Being construction, unless you can get a tape measure or smash it with a hammer, it's actually quite hard to quantify things because guys are carpenters, they're builders, they learn with their hands. Kinesthetic, I can never pronounce that word properly, someone help me? That's the one, man. Awesome. So that's the environment you're dealing with. What's going to say there? Because I was having a discussion with our guys last week with the health and safety meeting. We're just talking about fatigue management, stresses in the workplace, and we had a good, robust conversation around that area. At the end of it, I said to the guys, so who's working too many hours? Silence. How do you stop a carpenter from working all the hours he can in a week? You can't. So all we've got a policy. So you've got your controls, here's your boundaries and parameters. We've got a policy, this is the maximum hours you should be working in a week. Then we go over to start raising awareness. So guys, here's the rules, here's the boundaries, and then we do things like this, we raise awareness. So WorkSafe, the regulator, they've identified fatigue's an issue, they do this. Us as the industry, we take the awareness, carry it down to the workforce. So I'm quite big on awareness raising, just in the industry. So, like I said, who's actually heard of the Canterbury Rebuild Charter before this morning? Who's actually signed up to it, That's pretty cool. So as part of that, we did this big survey, work out what are the big things. So we look around there, training, risk management, cool, we do that fine. When it came on to fatigue management and impairment through drugs and alcohol, we all kind of said, well, yeah, we've got a policy and we sort of do something, but really we could be doing a lot more. So out of that, there is another group called the Canterbury Rebuild Safety Forum. This has actually been around since about 2010. It's actually made up of, I had to write them down because I keep forgetting, Fletcher's is in it, Hawkins is in it, Arrow, Corbell Construction, Skirt, Sarah, CPIT come along, ACC, WorkSafe, and I'm sure there's a couple more that I've forgotten. Sorry guys. Oh yeah, that's right, I've written it up there. And we meet up a couple of times a month and actually just share best practice on safety. And as part of that, we looked at this self-assessment forum and identified, okay, fatigue's an issue. What do we do about that? So we formed a work group. A few of us got together, 5 of us. There was Tom Heppy from Sarah, Walter Savage from Arrow, Phil Agnew from CPIT, and Alex Beaton down the back somewhere from WorkSafe. What we came up with, well, that was our first draft. So the goal, basically, just develop an awareness document. It wasn't so much aimed at us, we'll say the bigger players, it was aimed at the small to medium enterprises, people who don't have one of me to do this stuff for them. So it's just let's come up with a document so we can just get a nice abridged version, of what fatigue management is, what you can do, and then some awareness documents, links of places where to go so you can find out more information. And this is what we came up in the end. Like I say, this is sort of in its final draft stage, so I was actually going to use today's workshop as a method to try and come up with some extra points to fit in there maybe, any feedback from you guys. But what I'll do, I'll just run through the pages because we've actually, everything that's in this part we've actually already talked about this morning. So contents page, introduction, you won't be able to read it anyway. What is fatigue? Risk management approach to fatigue. Consultation and planning, assessing the risks, preventing the risks, training and information, monitoring, and then it's basically broke up into 4 parts, I think. So the first part's the content, and then there's a section of toolbox talks, a section on some safety posters, and then a reference link page. So toolbox talks, it's all about raising awareness. So that's just a talk, why is fatigue a problem? And there's 2 more, how can you tell if someone is fatigued? And toolbox talk C, you'll actually recognise that one. That is on the back of the fatigue management doc. I mean, most of this information is out of the Safe Work Australia guidelines for fatigue management. But all it is, it's just purely just awareness raising. You can talk amongst the guys, you guys on site, and just get everyone on site in that mindset of like fatigue is actually something that we need to look at and monitor. Now these posters, they're actually given to us by Fulton Hogan. I've just taken their branding off the bottom, but there's just the posters which can print it off, go inside smoko rooms, inside the toilets, like the heat safety one. Colour of your urine to see how you are for hydration. Tips to stay alert, and just stress management facts and fact sheets. And the last page is basically a quick link reference. So we've got one, New Zealand WorkSafe, Safe Work Australia, ACC, the actual New Zealand Health and Safety Work, which will be changing, HSC in the UK, and down the bottom, I haven't actually put any links, but apps. There are, it was mentioned before, there are apps you can get for iPhones, things like that. I haven't actually put any down because it's really whatever your smartphone device will actually read online. So pretty much go to an app store and Google search fatigue management. So pretty much, guys, that's what I've got for you.